Another day, another banger. Today, we're checking out Hellbound. First, we'll dive into Season 1 and then move on to Season 2. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the recap. The Episode 1 opens on a totally normal day, November 10th at 1:20 p.m. Everything's chill at this coffee shop until bam. These mega huge shadow monsters crash through the windows out of nowhere. These monsters are no joke. They're like giant, scary shadows that can smash through anything. They start chasing this random guy down the street, breaking stuff and causing total chaos. When they catch up to him, and you know they will, they do something super creepy. They burn him to ashes just by pointing their hands at him. Pretty intense way to kick off a TV show, right? Later at the police station, everyone's trying to wrap their heads around what just went down. The guy who got attacked was Yo Myung-hun, just some normal dude who lived alone after his divorce. This detective named Kyung-hoon shows up late to the meeting, and he's like, wait, we're seriously talking about actual monsters here? While all this is happening, this guy Young Jinsu starts blowing up on social media. He runs this religious group called the New Truth. The cops are suspicious because they think the New Truth might be buddies with this gang of troublemakers called Arrowhead. So they tell Kyung-hoon to check it out. Jinsu decides to hold a meeting right where the monster attack happened. Kinda weird, right? He's telling everyone these monsters are popping up everywhere, even in Japan. His big theory? The monsters only go after people who've done bad things. He says it's like God's way of telling people to straighten up and fly right. Things get awkward real quick when Kyung-hoon finds out his own daughter Hee-jung has been helping out the New Truth. Talk about family drama. Jinsu seems pretty normal at first. He takes the bus like a regular person and everything. He tells Kyung-hoon about growing up in an orphanage and how he saw these same monsters in Tibet when he was super depressed. That's what made him start his religious group. During their chat, Jinsu brings up some heavy stuff about how Kyung-hoon's wife was murdered and her killer only got 6 years in the slammer. Not cool, Jinsu. Not cool. Then the story introduces us to Park Youngja, who's just trying to have a nice birthday with her kids. But things take a major turn when this super creepy angel shows up and drops a bomb. She's going to hell in 5 days. Talk about the worst birthday present ever. The next day gets even crazier. The Arrowhead gang, remember those troublemakers? Beat up some writer really bad. While Kyung-hoon's dealing with that mess, Youngja comes to the police station completely freaked out. Here's the wild part. She tells everyone that the New Truth wants to film her when the monsters come to take her away. The episode wraps up with Jinsu looking pretty pleased with himself, which is kind of sus if you ask me. This first episode leaves you with some major questions bouncing around in your head. Are these monsters for real? Can we trust anything the New Truth is saying? And what's gonna happen to poor Youngja? It's like one of those spooky stories you'd tell at a sleepover, but cranked up to 11. The whole thing is giving off major mystery vibes mixed with some serious horror stuff. It's like if your school rumors about a haunted classroom turned out to be actually true, but way scarier. The episode 2 kicks off with a mom named Youngja making a wild decision. She's gonna let this creepy religious group called the New Truth film her supposed death by monsters. Why? They're offering her a ton of money, like millions of dollars, and with 2 kids to take care of, she could really use it. Her lawyer, Hye-jin, thinks this is a super bad idea, but Hye-jin's co-worker, Mr. Park, is all take the money. It's not like you're really gonna die in 5 days, right? Spoiler alert, maybe not the best advice. Meanwhile, at the police station, Detective Kyung-hoon tries telling his boss about the monster attack, but his boss is like, no way, not buying it. He wants real proof that these monsters exist. Things get super sketchy when Jinsu, the leader of the New Truth, shows up at Youngja's place with some paperwork. But instead of just handling business, he starts asking really mean questions about her kids not having a dad. He basically calls her a bad person and says that's why she's being sent to hell. Not cool, right? Then things get even worse. This group of troublemakers called Arrowhead starts causing drama. Some guy wearing this crazy neon mask goes online and leaks Youngja's address and personal info. Turns out it was this police officer named Yoon Pyo who gave them the info. And get this, he's secretly one of them. While all this is going down, Kyung-hoon's daughter Hee-jung tells her dad she's staying at a friend's house. But plot twist, she's actually hanging out with Jinsu. She tells him how she feels super guilty about her mom's death, and Jinsu's like, don't worry, I'll make a world where nobody does bad things anymore. But here's the crazy part, Jinsu is totally lying. He takes Hee-jung to this old factory where they find the guy who killed her mom. They straight up drug him and burn him alive. Even creepier, Hee-jung starts smiling while watching it happen. Back to Youngja, things are getting dangerous because now everyone knows where she lives. Arrowhead starts spreading fake news about her, saying she hurt her kids and did all these terrible things. They're using this random picture of her son Yoon-yul's bruised arm as proof. To protect her kids, Youngja and Hye-jin make a plan to send them to Canada. Meanwhile, everyone's talking about another burned body they found. The one Jinsu and Hee-jung did, but nobody knows it was them. The episode ends with this super intense setup. The New Truth has turned Youngja's house into like a TV studio. There are all these important people outside, plus this huge crowd of people waiting to watch what happens to her. They're literally counting down to when the monsters are supposed to show up, and then, bam, the episode ends right there. It's like if someone took social media drama, mixed it with horror movies, and added a bunch of twists that'll make you go, wait, what? Total cliffhanger ending. The episode 3 starts with a super intense scene. Remember Youngja from last time? Well, the new truth is making a huge deal about filming her death appointment. Everyone's counting down, and then, boom, the ground starts shaking like crazy, and those scary smoke monsters from the first episode show up. Detective Kyung-hoon tries to shoot them. Spoiler, doesn't work, and these monsters totally wreck Youngja right in front of all the cameras. Then, just like before, they burn her up completely. Super dark stuff. After seeing this, everyone freaks out. This cop named Yoon-pyo drops to his knees and starts praying, and then like everyone else does the same thing. Hye-jin, the lawyer, is just standing there shocked, and poor Kyung-hoon gets knocked out cold by one of the monsters. When Kyung-hoon wakes up in the hospital, everything's different. Jinsu, that creepy religious guy, is now like a mega celebrity in Korea. He's all over TV talking about his group, The New Truth, and most people are totally buying into it. But check this out, Kyung-hoon finds some security camera footage that shows Jinsu's people killed someone. He even spots the killer's jacket in Jinsu's apartment during a TV interview. Talk about suspicious. Things get super nasty when this gang called Arrowhead starts picking on Kyung-hoon and Hye-jin online. They're mad because Kyung-hoon tried to shoot the monsters and Hye-jin didn't pray. Now everyone hates them. It gets way worse. Some bad guys trash Hye-jin's office and beat up her friend Young-ho. Then they attack Hye-jin and her mom in a parking lot with metal pipes. When Hye-jin takes her mom to the hospital, nobody will help them because they believe all the mean stuff being said online. Sadly, her mom doesn't make it. Meanwhile, Kyung-hoon's looking for his missing daughter when Jinsu calls him to meet at this super creepy abandoned school. Here's where things get wild. Jinsu drops a huge bombshell. 20 years ago, he got the same kind of warning Youngja did. A floating face told him he'd die at 10:30 p.m. tonight and go to hell. Jinsu spills all the tea. He started The New Truth because he wanted everyone else to feel as scared as he's been for the last 20 years. Pretty messed up, right? He gives Kyung-hoon 2 choices: film his death and freak everybody out, or just let it happen quietly. Kyung-hoon decides not to film it and watches as the monsters take Jinsu away. When he gets home crying, his daughter Hee-jung hugs him, but something's not right. She's acting super weird and cold. The episode ends with another shocker. Hye-jin goes to see this guy named Jongshul, who's gonna be the new leader of the New Truth. But instead of helping her, he sends his Arrowhead buddies to attack her with pipes. They leave her lying there hurt really bad. It's like if the meanest kids at school suddenly got everyone to believe their lies, and now they're running the whole show. The episode shows how scary it is when people believe bad stuff they see online without checking if it's true first. The episode 4 jumps ahead 4 years, and wow, things have really changed. The New Truth, that creepy religious group, is now super famous worldwide, with this guy Jongshul running the show. At a TV station, we meet producer Young Jae, who's not buying what The New Truth is selling. He thinks they're just scaring everyone, but his coworkers tell him to shut up about it. Talk about peer pressure. He has to stay late to fix a documentary, which stinks because his baby is sick in the hospital. While working late, Young Jae finds this weird business card on his coworker Jun-won's desk. It's for something called Sodo Quick Loan with Yangpyeong fishing spot written on the back. Sounds fishy, right? Then something super scary happens. That creepy angel that gives death warnings shows up at the hospital and tells Young Jae's sick baby it has 3 days to live. Like, who does that to a baby? Young Jae goes to check out that fishing spot and finds Jun-won there. Poor Jun-won got one of those "you're going to hell" messages and doesn't want anyone to know. He hired this place called Sodo law firm to hide what's about to happen. Then, boom, those smoke monsters show up and take Jun-won away while Young Jae watches. Some guys then knock Young Jae out with a shot and tell him to forget what he saw. But plot twist, the leader of Sodo law firm turns out to be Hye-jin. Remember her from before? But now she's got a new haircut and she's way more tough. A priest named Yuji finds the business card the next morning and takes a picture of it, while everyone else is like, what evidence? We don't see anything. The episode ends super sad. Young Jae goes back to the hospital where his wife So-yoon is crying her eyes out. She's been trying to find any cases of babies being called sinners, because, like, how can a baby be bad? But can't find any. When Young Jae finds out his baby got the death message, he's completely crushed. The episode 5 starts with Young Jae freaking out about his baby being called a sinner, while he's looking stuff up online about this place called Sodo, which turns out to be like an old school safe zone where people could hide. His boss walks in and interrupts him. Meanwhile, this priest guy Yuji is checking on the next person marked for death, Yang Seok. He finds another weird business card there, this time for Sodo laundry service. Seuss, right? Young Jae does some detective work and tracks down this professor named Hyungjin at a university. Big reveal time. there's actually a secret group fighting against the new truth. They're like underground rebels, with spies everywhere, in tech companies, police stations, you name it. They find people who got death messages and help them hide from the new truth. Pretty cool, like a resistance movement in those superhero movies. The new truth has gotten huge in the 4 years that passed, half the world believes in them now. They've even got this fancy new HQ where they do public demonstrations of people dying. Super dark stuff. They make Young Seok die in front of his family while people watch on TV. 89% of Korea tuned in. Yikes. But here's where it gets messy. Young Seok tells everyone about Hye-jin, remember her? And this Sodo group before he dies. The new truth's new boss, Jongshul, is super mad and sends Arrowhead, those mean thugs, to hunt them down. Young Jae meets up with Hye-jin at Sodo's hideout, and they come up with this wild plan. They want Young Jae to tell everyone about his baby's death message. Why? Because if people see that an innocent baby is being called a sinner, maybe they'll realize the new truth is lying about everything. This Professor Hyungjin shares this super sad story about how his own daughter got a death message while they were at the beach and died right in front of him. After hearing this, Young Jae agrees to help. When Young Jae gets home, his wife So-yoon is totally losing it. She thinks it's her fault their baby, nicknamed Tuffy, got the death message because her mom wasn't a good person. When Young Jae brings up the broadcast idea, things get tense. Then everything goes crazy. Arrowhead catches Hyungjin and this other guy named Gyunbi. They do something terrible, they burn them alive and hang their bodies from a highway as a warning. Then they find out where Hye-jin's hiding. There's this wild chase scene where Hye-jin barely escapes from Arrowhead. The camera work is so shaky it's like when your little brother films everything while running. Embarrassed smiley face. Even Yuji, who works for the new truth, thinks Arrowhead is going too far and tries to help. The news starts reporting about the burned bodies, and Arrowhead goes on TV saying Hyungjin and Gyunbi deserved it because they were sinners. They also show everyone Hye-jin's picture and say she's the boss of Sodo, so now she can't hide anywhere. The episode ends with a total oh no moment. Hye-jin calls Young Jae to make sure he's still going to make the video about his baby, but then finds out his wife So-yoon has taken their baby straight to the new truth's headquarters. Talk about the worst possible place to go. The season 1 ends with some crazy stuff going down. Young Jae finds out his wife So-yoon took their baby Tuffy to the new truth's headquarters, like walking right into the bad guy's base. When they get there, this guy Deacon Yuji takes a USB stick with a video of Tuffy's death message and shows it to all the big shots at the new truth. While everyone's freaking out about what to do, Hye-jin, who's basically a wanted person now, just walks right into the new truth's building to help Young Jae. They come up with this super smart plan. One of their friends pretends he got a death message and is gonna die in 10 minutes. While everyone's distracted by this fake out, they grab Tuffy and make a run for it. They escape to this neighborhood where they meet this guy named Dongwook. He tells them he used to believe in the new truth but quit when he realized they were lying. He offers to help them share the video of Tuffy's death message online. But plot twist, Dongwook is actually a total faker. Turns out he's the scary skull mask guy from Arrowhead, those mean thugs, and he got his own death message 3 years ago. The new truth's boss tricks him by saying he's some kind of chosen one, and Dongwook totally falls for it. Things get super intense when Dongwook shows his true colors. He kills some guards and tries to attack Hye-jin, Young Jae, and So-yoon. But Hye-jin's ready for him and fights back with a wrench, like a total boss. Then comes the moment everyone's been waiting for. It's time for Tuffy's death message to come true. All the neighbors come out with their phones to film what's happening. So-yoon and Young Jae hold Tuffy between them, trying to protect their baby as those scary smoke monsters show up. Here's the wild part. When the monsters do their burning thing, something amazing happens. The baby survives. Nobody knows how, but they can hear Tuffy crying in all the smoke. Dongwook tries to hurt the baby, but Hye-jin stops him. Then those monsters show up again and take Dongwook instead. An old man in the crowd starts calling out the new truth, saying they're all liars. This makes Deacon Yuji so mad that he beats up the old man, but everyone records it on their phones. A police officer arrests Yuji right there in front of everyone. It looks like people are finally starting to realize the new truth has been lying this whole time. But wait, there's one more huge surprise. Remember Youngja from the first episodes? The mom who got burned up by the monsters 4 years ago? In the very last scene, her burned up body suddenly starts moving, and she comes back to life. Like, what? It's like if you thought the story was over, but then boom, zombie mom. The show ends with so many wild questions. How did the baby survive? Why did Youngja come back to life? Is everyone who died coming back? What's gonna happen to the new truth now that people know they're lying? The episode 1 of season 2 starts by showing us what really happened when Jinsu died. Remember him? The creepy religious leader who started the new truth? We see him talking to Detective Jin, saying how unfair it is that he's going to hell even though he never did anything bad. He's so mad about it that he wants everyone else to be as scared as he's been for 20 years. Then we see Jinsu in hell, super creepy stuff. He keeps jumping into the bodies of different men who knew his mom. At first, he thinks his mom abandoned him for some married guy, but then he learns the truth. His dad was actually super mean to her, which is why she left. Finally, he jumps into the body of the guy he and Hee-jung burned to death. But then this weird new monster shows up, and boom, Jinsu comes back to life in the real world. 4 years have passed since season 1, when that baby survived the monsters. The new truth isn't as powerful anymore because people saw the Bay family save their baby. But those crazy arrowhead guys? They've gotten even stronger. They think the Bays showed that you can save someone from the monsters if you sacrifice yourself. Now the arrowheads do these wild events where they try to save people marked for death. They're led by this lady called Miss Sunshine, who lost her arm trying to save someone before. In this episode, they try to save this bully named Young Kyung Sok. But when the monsters show up, he freaks out and tries to run. The arrowhead crowd grabs him and jumps on top of him, like a weird group hug. But everyone the monsters touch dies anyway. The arrowheads are like, that's cool, they died as heroes. Then they attack Chairman Kim, the new leader of the new truth, because they think he's fake. This government lady named Lee Soo-kyung shows up with a plan. She wants to use Park Young-ja, that mom who came back to life at the end of season 1, as their new poster child to fight against the arrowheads. Only problem? Young-ja's kind of lost it and keeps mumbling about heaven and hell. Chairman Kim likes the plan but warns that if Jinsu comes back to life too, everyone will listen to him instead. The only person who might know anything about Jinsu is Detective Jin, but he's disappeared. The episode ends showing us Detective Jin and his daughter living in hiding. He works at night, and his daughter is always glued to her phone. She has some kind of freaky episode, but as soon as it's over, she goes right back to her phone while her dad looks super worried. Talk about a wild start to season 2. The episode 2 starts with some really sad news. Detective Jin's daughter Hee-jung has cancer and only has 3 months left to live. While Jin's driving home one day, he spots those crazy arrowhead people parading around with sinners. Someone's following him in a car, but he manages to shake them off. But when he gets home, major trouble. The new truth bad guys are trying to kidnap Hee-jung. Just when it looks like Jin's losing the fight, guess who shows up? Hye-jin and her Soto team. They save Hee-jung and chase the bad guys away. Hye-jin wants Jin to tell her where Jinsu died, but Jin's worried about upsetting Hee-jung's beliefs. He finally agrees to help if they keep it secret from Hee-jung, so he tells them about Jinsu's old orphanage. We then find out that Soto's been keeping that miracle baby from season 1, now named Jae-hyun, in a youth hostel. She's a happy kid who really likes Hye-jin. Nobody knows how she survived the monsters, so they keep watching her super carefully. They're also taking care of Hee-jung there. Hee-jung keeps begging for her phone because she wants to stop people from saying bad stuff about Jinsu online. Her dad tries to make her feel better by making up a story about Jinsu saying she was special and that he'd come back someday. Meanwhile, the new truth goes on TV to show everyone that Young-ja, that mom who came back to life, is real. They say she knows what God wants and will tell everyone in 3 months when they start their new group called New Will. Poor little Jae-hyun gets scared when a bunch of guards burst into her room just because she grabbed a toy. Hye-jin wants to let her live like a normal kid, but her boss says no way, they're going to use Jae-hyun as their weapon against the new truth. Soto sets up cameras at the orphanage to watch for Jinsu coming back to life. They put this guy Se-hyung on guard duty. 3 months later, boom, Jinsu actually comes back. Se-hyung pretends not to recognize him at first, playing it cool while he secretly texts Soto. The episode 3 kicks off with Jinsu having super scary nightmares about the monsters. Every time he looks in a mirror, he sees these creepy monsters that nobody else can see. While this guy Se-hyung is talking to Soto, Jinsu sneaks onto the internet and finds out about other people coming back to life, Jae-hyun, the miracle baby, and Young-ja. He even finds a security video of himself coming back to life. When Se-hyung catches him, they get into a fight, but Se-hyung knocks him out. Meanwhile, Chairman Kim is trying to trick Young-ja into helping the new truth. He's all like the world's ending and only you can save everyone. But Young-ja keeps talking crazy about feeling hopeless and missing her kids. So Kim gets mean and threatens to grab her kids if she doesn't help. That gets her attention real quick. She agrees to do whatever they want if they leave her kids alone. Speaking of her kids, they're actually talking to Hye-jin, begging her to rescue their mom. But Soto, Hye-jin's group, is more interested in questioning Jinsu than saving Young-ja. This makes Hye-jin super mad, especially when she sees how they're always watching and testing little Jae-hyun like she's some kind of science experiment. Now here's where things get wild. While Se-hyung is driving Jinsu to Sodo, we find out why Se-hyung hates Jinsu so much. Turns out Se-hyung's wife Chi-won was totally obsessed with Jinsu and the new truth. When Jinsu disappeared, she got caught up with those crazy arrowhead people who believe you can save sinners by sacrificing yourself. Chi-won became this person called Miss Sunshine in Arrowhead. Remember her from last episode? One time, Se-hyung tried to stop her from joining one of these sacrifice events, and she actually stabbed him. She was late to the sacrifice pile and only lost her arm, which made her think God had forgiven her. But later, she thought she'd sinned again and joined another sacrifice event. This time she died. Se-hyung is super angry because he thinks Jinsu started all this crazy talk about monsters and redemption that got his wife killed. But Jinsu just laughs it off and says Arrowhead gave Chi-won something to believe in that Se-hyung never could. Then Jinsu starts messing with Se-hyung's head, saying Sodo is just using him like Arrowhead used his wife. He even suggests that Sodo probably killed baby Jae-hyun and might kill him too. Se-hyung tries not to listen and hands Jinsu over to some Sodo officials. But Jinsu's words keep bugging him, and he starts thinking maybe Jinsu could actually fix everything. So he does something totally crazy. He crashes his car into the Sodo official's car. There's this big fight, and Jinsu helps Se-hyung zap the officials with a taser. As they're running away, Se-hyung asks Jinsu what his big plan is. The episode ends with a total shocker. Jinsu says the only people who can help are Arrowhead. You know, the same crazy group that got Se-hyung's wife killed. Talk about a plot twist. The episode 4 starts with Secretary Lee's team giving Young-ja, the mom who came back to life, a total makeover. They want her to look perfect when she goes public as the resurrected one. Chairman Kim thinks they're being too fake about it, but Lee just wants to wow everyone. Jinsu and Se-hyung are hiding out, and Jinsu's acting super weird. He won't even look in mirrors because he's scared of seeing monsters. Se-hyung feels bad and buys him some sunglasses. They're heading to meet the Arrowhead gang at a place called Pinwheel. Jinsu says he's going after Arrowhead because they're the only ones who really believe in all this stuff. He wants to use their crazy dedication to stop everyone's wild ideas about the monsters. Back at the New Truths building, they figure out something creepy. When Young-ja rambles about stuff, she's actually predicting when people are gonna die. When they ask her about Chairman Kim's future, she sees some weird phoenix and plants but can't tell when he'll die. Hye-jin's buying supplies and finds a toy that Jae-hyun, the miracle baby, would love, but she has to rush back because Jinsu's gone missing. Her boss, Sung Jip, isn't worried, but now nobody wants to help rescue Young-ja except him and Hye-jin. When Jinsu and Se-hyung get to the Arrowhead hideout, which is covered in pictures of Jinsu, the Arrowheads are super excited to see Jinsu and lock Se-hyung in a room. Jinsu tells their leader, Pinwheel, he wants to see Young-ja. Pinwheel thinks Jinsu and Young-ja are gonna team up to expose the New Truth's lies. Here comes the shocking part. Jinsu tells Se-hyung he actually can't fix anything because he's too scared of the monsters. Se-hyung gets mad and attacks him, but the Arrowheads grab him. As Jinsu walks away, the Arrowheads kill Se-hyung. Super dark stuff. Everything comes to a head when Young-ja's about to make her big speech. Hye-jin and her tiny team, just her boss and an old couple, are there too. But right when Young-ja's about to talk, boom, those scary monsters show up. Turns out Sung Jip planned for one of their team members to die right then as a distraction. Everything goes crazy. The monsters are chasing their target through the crowd. The New Truth guards rush Young-ja inside, and the Arrowheads start attacking people in the building. The episode ends with Hye-jin running to try to get to Young-ja in all this chaos. Talk about the worst possible time for those monsters to show up. Now everyone's plans are falling apart at once. The episode 5 starts with a big reveal. Sung Jip and Secretary Lee used to work together. They've got this secret plan to kidnap Young-ja because they think she's playing tricks on the New Truth. They want to use her to control everyone and bring back order to their messed up world. Their plan starts with using 2 people who are marked for death as distractions. But everything goes crazy when Pinwheel and his Arrowhead gang bust into the building. Then Jinsu goes on live TV saying he wants to meet Young-ja and tell everyone God's real plan. This gets the crowd super hyped, and they storm the building to help him. Things get wild. Hye-jin and Sung Jip barely escape some Arrowhead thugs who recognize Hye-jin. Then the Arrowheads catch one of Sodo's guys who's marked for death and use him as bait. Chairman Kim loses it and hits Young-ja when she starts talking weird about the end of the world. Hye-jin shows up just in time to grab Young-ja, but gets separated from Sung Jip who stays behind to fight off the Arrowheads. Kim tries to hide in his office and begs Lee for help, but she's like nah, you're not important anymore and leaves him to deal with the Arrowheads. He tries to tell everyone that Jinsu is actually a sinner, but nobody believes him. Right before the Arrowheads attack him, Kim notices the same phoenix painting Young-ja saw in her vision and just starts laughing. The episode ends with 2 crazy moments. Jinsu keeps seeing monsters everywhere while looking for Young-ja, and when Hyejin hides Young-ja somewhere safe, Young-ja finally remembers who she is. But then she gets super sad because she sees something scary about Hyejin's future. Something about a toy elephant means Hyejin's gonna die. The season 2 finale starts with total chaos. Chairman Kim is dead, and the Arrowhead gang is torturing this poor Sodo guy while Pinwheel films it. Jinsu finds Secretary Lee's number all over Kim's phone and makes a deal with her. Let him meet Young-ja, or he'll tell everyone about her secret plans. While all this is going down, Hyejin promises Young-ja she'll help her see her kids again. They try to escape during the Sodo guy's monster attack. Super sad, they're using his death as a distraction. But, surprise, it's a trap. Pinwheel and his gang jump out and beat up Hyejin and Sung Jip. They go live on social media saying they rescued Young-ja. Then things get super weird. Jinsu tries talking to Young-ja about his monster nightmares, but she's like, we had different experiences in hell, and calls him a coward. She says the monster he keeps seeing is actually inside him. This makes Jinsu so mad he tries to attack her, but then, plot twist, his hand starts turning into monster tentacles. While everyone's freaking out, Hyejin grabs Young-ja and makes a run for it with Sung Jip. Jinsu chases them, begging for help as more of him turns into a monster. Hyejin tries to pull him out of this weird monster cocoon thing, but it's too late. He transforms completely into one of those glowing monsters and runs away. Everyone watching Pinwheel's livestream sees the whole thing. Just when you think things are calming down, they're taking Young-ja to meet her kids at a junkyard when Hyejin spots a toy elephant. Remember Young-ja's warning about this? She ducks just in time to dodge a bullet from Sung Jip. Turns out he's gone totally crazy and wants to kill Young-ja so nobody can use her power. He tries to crush her in a car crusher, but Hyejin saves her just in time and handcuffs Sung Jip. The happy moment finally comes when Young-ja gets into a car with a man who turns out to be her son. But before she leaves, she warns Hyejin that the world is ending soon. Then everything goes nuts. Secretary Lee suddenly gets a death message saying she'll die in 2 years, and thousands of other people get death messages too. Detective Jin watches this on TV while sitting with his daughter Heejung, who looks at a photo of her mom right before she dies from cancer. Hyejin runs to get Jae-hyun, the miracle baby, and asks if she wants to live with her. As they're leaving, Jae-hyun sees all this graffiti about her parents, the bays, everywhere. Hyejin decides it's time to tell her the truth about her parents and wants to adopt her. The episode ends with a flashback showing what really happened during baby Jae-hyun's monster attack. She actually died with her parents but came back to life minutes later. Talk about a wild way to end the season. It's like when you think the school year is almost over but then the teacher drops 10 surprise tests on you at once, except way more intense. Everyone's getting death messages, people are turning into monsters, and the world might be ending. And that's a wrap on Hellbound. If you haven't seen the Matrix series yet, make sure to check it out next. Just click right here to watch the full recap. Don't miss it.